Hello again, Dominic Tropher, and welcome to another video. And this one's actually going to be a bit of an interesting video, so it is. This one's actually going to be a Q&A video. And I'm looking forward to making one of these because it's been a while since I last made one. Yes, I've actually done a few of these before. Pardon me. Last one I actually did was, which I ended up looking a couple of days ago on my YouTube channel, was 3 months ago. So yeah, it's been a while since I last made one. And overall, I've actually got 28 questions here asked by several subscribers of mine, and I'm looking forward to answering them. And hope you like my answers that I give you. So the first one is from a user called Channel. Now he's given me, or she, I think he said he's male. Anyway, so yeah, this person has given me 3 questions. So the first question he's given me is, when is your Switch video coming out? Spoilers. Yes, if you wondered, I actually own a Nintendo Switch. I've had one for several months, so I have. The reason why I've actually not made a video or talked about it and stuff is because of the fact that I want to use it for a while. Obviously, I've owned it for several months. And I think when I've had a piece of technology or a piece of equipment, whatever it is, I like to use it for a good amount of time, maybe 3 months, 5 months, half a year, whatever. So then I've actually used the device through its limits. And then once I've done that, I like to give it a review, so I do. I'm not like a lot of these people where they review something after 1 day of using it. You know what I mean? What's the point of doing that? You know what I mean? I like to, properly use it and then give my thoughts about it months later. So yeah. I don't know when the video will be out, but like I said, I'll see when it does come out and stuff. So the next one after that is, what first-party Wii U game do you want to Switch port for the most? There's 2 games I'd love to see, which are Devil's Third and Project Zero 5, Maiden of the Black Water. The reason being was because of the fact that these 2 games, I quite enjoyed playing them, so that's what I did. But they were quite late releases in the Wii U's life. But also didn't get the advertising it deserved. Like, I don't even think Devil's Third ever got any advertising. And Project Zero 5 did, but it was only advertised online. You know what I mean? That was Nintendo's problem with the Wii U. And I think those 2 games, which again were both first-party games, definitely deserve a second chance on the Switch, where hopefully they'll both get the audience it deserves, because obviously they both got very small cult followings, because again both games were on a system that wasn't selling well. They're basically both on a failed game console. But I don't know if they'll ever get, ports on the Switch and stuff. I hope so. That'd be great. It really, really would. But I'm not entirely sure if that will ever happen and stuff. So, yeah. Super Mario Maker. I think that's another one I'd love to see. But Devil's Third and Project Zero 5. Yeah, that'd be good, that. Make that happen, Nintendo. That'd be good, that. And the third question he's asked me is, what movies have you seen lately? I've only seen one lately, and that was on Friday, and that was Ready Player One, which is a bit of sort of like modern sci-fi geek type film. It really, really is. And it's got full, all sorts of pop culture references from all sorts, from like the 80s, the 90s, and even the 2000s. You know what I mean? Even like video game, characters, such as the characters from Halo, and Sonic the Hedgehog is in it as well. So that's a pretty cool thing. And you've also got the DeLorean from Back to the Future and the Giant from the Iron Giant. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's actually quite good that way. Good film if you love that sort of stuff. So thank you for that, Channel. So the next person is called XXX Golden Eyes. Where do these people get these names from? Whoever this person is, are they playing Call of Duty or something? I don't know. Or Wii Sports Resort? You know what I mean? I don't know. So this person has given me 3 questions. The first one is, when will you give a room tour? It's something I've actually not thought about doing. It really isn't. But maybe someday I might make one. So yeah, just look out and see when it happens. The next one is, what job would you like to have? Obviously, the type of work I want to do is admin and IT. That's the type of work I want to do. But I think someday I'd love to like own my own business. I think that's one thing I love to do. But like everyone always says, you need a lot of money for that. So you do. So yeah, that's how it goes. IT and admin, for me, that's the way to go. As I always say, keep getting myself out there. That's all you can do. And the third question he asked me is, what is your favourite movie of all time or film? Chicken Run. Absolutely love that sort of stuff. Obviously, makers of Wallace and Gromit. And it's just a great film in its own way. It's basically the chicken version of Wallace and Gromit. If you've ever the chicken version of The Great Escape, basically that's what it is. It's set in 1950s Yorkshire, England, where a group of chickens are trying to escape from the farmers. And they try every way to just escape. So they do. It's just absolutely funny. It really, really is. Because obviously if they don't escape and they stop laying eggs, they basically go for the chop. Or later on, become a chicken pie. So, yeah. Great action-packed film, even though, again, it's an animation, but it's absolutely amazing. It really, really is. So I love that sort of stuff. So thank you for that. So the next person is called Ariana Grande 336622. And so, yeah, this person must be a fan of that music, that female singer. So this person has asked, when are you going to do a live stream instead of a video? At the meantime, I've not thought about making one. I'd love to make it. I really, really would. But I think if I did make one, it'd probably just be a bit of a test video to see what would happen. The thing that would worry me is getting interruptions. It really, really would. That's one thing that would really, really scare me. So if I ever did it, it would probably just be a bit of a test video, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes long, 4 minutes, whatever, just to see what would happen. So yeah. So thank you for that question. So the next person is called Sub Dead. Seriously, where are these people getting these questions? Where these names and stuff? This person has asked me, does Alex Francis get in a rage hissy fit like Francis2988? If so, show us an example. He does a lot, yeah, he really, really does. The thing with Alex is that he gets into a bit of a hissy fit through a lot of things. Usually things that are never fully relevant. So they aren't. Usually he gets annoyed about me with certain things. He hates my guts for some reason. So, yeah, that's how it goes. But he also gets annoyed over little things, such as when Kellogg's discontinued production on the Ricicles cereal. That one. Obviously, he got annoyed about people hating Atari with their new console. He obviously has hated the other fans of supermarkets. That's another one. As well as little things as well. Happy New Month. He absolutely hates that. He really, really does. He gets like upset and starts crying. So he does. It might not seem like that, but certain things will make him pounce. So it will. So yeah. So he goes. So thank you for that. The next person is called Alexander Mac Ray or Mick Ray. I think Mac Ray. If I didn't pronounce it, I'm really, really sorry about that. He has asked me, do you prefer classic or modern Doctor Who? Overall, I'm not really bothered. I think both eras I quite enjoy. Obviously, they have their own, pros and cons, but they're quite good. They really, really are. I just love it overall. I really, really do. It's Doctor Who, and I love it. His second question is, who are some of your favourite YouTubers? There are a few YouTubers I quite enjoy watching, who are Classic Game Room, GFY Productions, Killers Comical Unboxings, as well as a few others. There are a few even smaller channels, Doctor Who related channels that I quite enjoy watching, as well as a few others, which I quite like. So yeah, good mix there. Because the thing is, there's a lot of smaller YouTubers that make amazing content. A lot of them are quite underrated. They really, really are. And it's like, well, it makes me think, how the heck do you have so, a small amount of YouTubers. You should have like thousands, whatever. You know what I mean? They're really, really good. So yeah, that's just how it goes. So thank you for that. Also, no. Sorry, one more question. If you could go back in time and change anything, what would it be? I've always had this thought about certain things and stuff, and I think one of the things is seeing my nana again, and even trying to save her. The reason being was because the fact she actually died several years ago. She died 3 years ago in the July, which was a very upsetting time for us in my family and stuff. But the thing about it is, you've got to remember the memories and move on with your life and stuff. I think as long as you do that, you know what I mean, it's a good thing and stuff. I love that. I really, really do. And even had ideas of wanting to go back in time. Actually, I sound like I actually can. Of wanting to see family that I've never met before, especially on my nana's side. Because again, she, as I said before, she was born in Ireland, so she was. And obviously they're a family that I've never met before, and I'd love to meet them, and, you know, I've heard about them and stuff, and a lot of them sound like really, really, really interesting people. Especially my, she would be my great-grandmother, who is my nana's mother. I've heard a lot about her, as well as other family members who obviously passed a long time ago. But I've heard a lot of good stuff about them, and, you know what I mean, they sound like nice people. So yeah, that's how it goes and stuff. So thank you for that. That's a good one. I think even meeting like my past self would be a good thing. Or my future self. What's your first question for the future, Dominic Trotham? Have I got a girlfriend yet? Have I got a girlfriend yet? Have I got a girlfriend yet? So yeah, that's just the way it goes and stuff. So thank you for that. So the next one is from GFY Productions. And he has asked me, favourite music growing up, as well as your first real true favourite band / album / song. I used to grow up with a lot of different songs, as well as different artists and stuff. As I said before, I was born in the mid-1990s. So obviously I listen to music obviously from the early 2000s, as well as very, 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 very late 1990s. Probably late 1998, 1999, that sort of stuff. And then obviously going on. And a lot of songs I used to like from there. I used to like the Cha Cha Slide, that was a good one. Some of Britney Spears' old songs were absolutely great as well. Movie Feet by Junior Senior, another one. Call on Me, the remix by Eric Prydz, I think that's how I pronounce it. As well as other sort of songs as well. There's actually some of those I've actually started getting back into. So I have. Mambo No. 5, that's a good one. Even the Bob the Builder version is a good one. And I Don't Care, I'm 23 years old. That is still such a great remix. The Bob the Builder version, absolutely great and stuff. And even one song I've started to get back into, which is Evacuate the Dance Floor by Cascada. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Something like that. That's actually quite a good song and stuff. And even others that I've started to get back into as well. And then I don't really listen to modern day music. The most modern one I've listened to is Wake Me Up and Levels by Avicii. And then there's what's that other one now? I forgot what it's called now. It's by Swedish Mafia something. Don't You Worry Child, that's a good one. And my favourite one overall is Take On Me by Hey Ha or Aha. That's a good one. That's an absolutely good song, and so I love that song a bit. You know what I mean? It's absolutely good, that. You know, with the beat and stuff. It's just absolutely great. So I love just like that and stuff, where he goes ba 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 na 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 ba 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 no 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 ba 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 na 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 no do 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 ba 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 ba. So yeah, that's quite a good one. That it really, really is. So I like that one. His next question is favourite cartoon character / show. obviously Doctor Who and stuff, but there are other programs I used to enjoy watching that I still watch to this day. I've got back into the IT Crowd. That's another one I used to love. Big Bang Theory, again, like that, and so that's actually quite a good one. Favorite character, I've always liked Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I think years ago I used to sort of relate to him. I think because he's because obviously his character is slightly autistic or Aspergic, so he is. And like looking back at the old episodes, I can definitely relate to a lot of his stuff. Like, for example, one thing is when I used to go to sixth form, which is sort of it's sort of like school. It's sort of like college and school into one. So it's before college, so it is something like that. Every lunch and dinner time, my lunch and my break time, I would always sit in the same spot. That's just what I would always do. Nothing quirky. That's what I'd always do. I'd always sit in the same spot for every lunch and break every single day I was there. But if someone sat in that chair in that spot, it would really, really annoy me, and I didn't really feel comfortable sitting anywhere else. So I ended up sitting somewhere else. So I did, but that's what would really, really put me off. But that's just what I did and stuff. I really did get out of that mentality afterwards, years later. But that's what I used to do. I would sit in the same spot for lunch and break every day at sixth form. That's just, how it goes and stuff. Inspiration of YouTube videos. I've always enjoyed making content, and I think watching other YouTubers, especially Classic Game Room, definitely made me want to make those sort of stuff. So it did. So, yeah. Another one is, why don't you swear more or seem bothered by me swearing? The reason why I actually don't swear, I know I say the word bloody, so I do. Swearing, it's never really interested me. It really, really hasn't, and I never liked it. Like, I have sworn a few times. Oh my god, Dominic swears. Let's regurgitate this for like 50 minutes. No, I'm joking. But I've actually sworn a couple of times, and it's usually by mistake. Usually, if something really, really annoys me, I get really angry and I start swearing, especially using a lot of bad language. But usually I don't swear, and that actually surprises my family and stuff. Like, because obviously my family have sworn, several times and stuff over the years, and they're quite surprised that I've actually never really picked it up. You know what I mean? I know with my nana and in Ireland, swearing is a regular thing over there. It's like a second language to them, so it is. And I remember when I was when I was over there with my family, I was 13, and I was watching a couple of episodes of The Simpsons, and I remember I was talking to my auntie, who kept swearing, and I didn't like it, that she was swearing in front of a 13-year-old. I didn't really feel comfortable. But I remember asking my mum about that, and she just said to me, it's second nature to them. It's a normal thing for them to swear and stuff. I don't know why, but maybe that's because of the Irish, you know what I mean? And I can say that because, again, I'm part Irish, so, yeah. But that's just how it goes and stuff. The reason why swearing doesn't bother me is it doesn't bother me. It really, really doesn't. When I was younger, I didn't like being around people who swore. But when I got older, it never really bothered me and stuff. I don't really care, you know what I mean? I know people swear all the time and stuff. Like, I know when you're younger, it makes you feel good, but I think it makes you look like a bloody idiot. That's how it does. So yeah, that's how it goes. Most violent thing you've ever done? I also don't know. I don't think I've ever done some sort of violent thing. I have done a lot of bad things. I really, really have. And I think one of the worst things I've done is, and it wasn't like to hurt anyone, but this is going back many, many years ago. During April 2007, see, I told you it was going to be a long time ago, when I was 12 years old, back then, obviously, I hadn't been diagnosed with my autism. And obviously, a lot of things I did back then, I would literally speak my mind. So instead of actually, thinking, I would literally just, say it out loud. And a lot of people would think I'm being a bit negative or being a bit mean, even though they didn't understand the way I was. And one of the things I did, I said, and it's sort of laugh now, but sort of still awful, is, Actually, sorry, I'll pause it. My phone is, actually my phone's on low bar, so be back in a minute. I'm back, sorry about that. I just plugged the charger in, so I did. But I also took a quick drink of water as well, so yeah. So, what I was going to say was, so around that time, obviously I didn't really, think. I'd literally just speak my mind and stuff. But I was a quite condescending child. I really, really was. I was also one of these people who thought they were better than everyone. And even like, I used to think that I used to literally sort of hurt my family mentally and with, words and stuff. Because I used to literally believe that I was like the smartest person overall. I really, really did. I used to think, oh, well, you know what I mean? I used to say all sorts. Like, one thing you say, and it's awful to say this, is I used to say that people who drink alcohol didn't do well at school. Yeah, that's probably going to trigger a lot of people. But that's one thing you said, and it's awful. It really, really is. But the thing I was going to say was that I went to a friend's house back at that point. And the house wasn't, it was actually a little, it was a little bit untidy, so it was a little bit untidy. And obviously there were like, mess and stuff there, but it wasn't that bad. And what ended up happening was, I ended up saying out loud to my friend, an old friend of mine, and his family, it's like being in How Clean Is Your House? Yes, that's what I said to him. It's like being in How Clean Is Your House? That, basically, if you wonder what it is, it's basically a program where these two women basically go to people's houses and basically try and clean and sort everything out and stuff. And unfortunately, obviously I didn't mean say it in a mean way, but because of the fact they didn't understand the way I was, they basically thought I was being very harsh to them. So what ended up happening was, I remember a couple of days later, my mother gets a phone call, so she does, about the incident. And basically, my mother was very appalled with the way I spoke to my friend and their parents. And basically, she had to try and explain to him that he didn't really mean to say that. I said, he doesn't think what he says, and because of that, it's just the way he is and stuff. He don't really think, and he needs to think more. So what ended up happening was we actually sort of fell out, so we did. And because of that, after a while, he didn't understand the way I was, and he thought I was just being mean. But once they fully understood the way I was, they were fine with it, so they were. And I decided to make sure not to do that again, because I rarely do that now. I really pretty much not do that anymore. Usually I think my mind instead of thinking it out loud. So we do. So that was a bit of a bad thing to do. It really, really was. Telling someone that their house looks like it needs to be on some sort of cleaning show. Bit awful to say that, you know what I mean? I'm usually not like that, so I'm not. And his last question is, where or who have you had the wildest time with? Do you think I'm a crazy 20-year-old? I.e. whatever. Drinking, party, concert, dinner, or whatever. I really don't do any sort of like crazy wild things. One thing is I don't drink, and I'm not really a fan of parties. I really aren't. I like to do my own thing. Usually on Saturday nights, I usually like to stay in and stuff. That's just how I am and stuff. Or if it's a party, if it's a small party with family, I quite enjoy that. But if it's a party that I'm going to with family or friends or whatever, and I don't know anyone, I feel like the odd one out. I don't like that. I really, really don't. So I'm sort of mixed on parties. It's something I don't really enjoy. But I wouldn't really say I've done any sort of wild thing. I really, really wouldn't. So, yeah. I'm good in my own way. Apart from the condescending that I used to do. So thank you for that. Another person is from Fire Dust, aka Jacob. And this person has asked me 5 questions. So yes, we're getting to the end. So we are. We've got 2 more people answering questions. So his first question is, which of the 7th generation consoles do you think did backwards compatibility the best? I've been thinking about this question for a while, so for the last couple of days. This is a difficult one. Overall, I'm not entirely sure, because they all did backwards compatibility the best in their own way. Obviously, when all three consoles launched, PS3, 360, Wii, they all had backwards compatibility. PS3 could play PS2 and PS1 games, the Xbox 360 could play original Xbox games, and the Wii could play GameCube games. But for the PS3 and the Wii, it sort of changed, so it did. Because obviously the PS3 models later on lost PS2 compatibility, and Nintendo took the GameCube compatibility out of later Nintendo Wii's. Whereas all the 360s could play all the original Xbox games due to the fact it just needed the hard drive, an official hard drive. But I think for me, I would say the Wii did it best. I think because the fact that the hardware was very, very reliable. Granted, some people did have disk read issues, but the reason being was because the fact that they didn't break that easy. You know what I mean? That the build quality is really good on the Wii's, especially the old ones. I've had mine since early 2007. Still works fine, so it does, and I love it. The GameCube games still work fine, whereas the original PS3 models break easy. They basically have so many problems. But the reason why people love them is just to play PS2 games on them. But if it were me, I wouldn't be desperate enough to spend good money on them, especially when they break. You know what I mean? Whereas for the 360, the original model basically had problems. But the later ones after that worked fine, and they still had the backwards compatibility. So for me, I would say the Nintendo Wii did it the best. So I did. So, yeah. For handhelds, the DS and the PSP, I would say the DS did it better. Even though the DSi lost the GBA compatibility and the PSP Go didn't have a UMD drive, I would say the DS and the DSi still did it best overall. So, yeah. So that's an interesting one. His second question is, how would I rank all of Nintendo's home consoles from NES to Switch? This is a bit of a tricky one because I've actually never played on an NES. I do have the little mini one. But yeah, I don't know. I really, really don't know. Obviously, I grew up with the N64, the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, and now the Switch. I'm actually not entirely sure. I really am not entirely sure about that. I think I'd have to have a good think about that, so I'm sorry about that. His next question is, between the big 5 British children's icons, which did you grow up with the most? Thomas the Tank Engine, Postman Pat, Pingu, Fireman Sam, or Noddy? I used to grow up with all of them, so I did. But I think out of those 5, I used to watch Postman Pat and Noddy a lot. I really, really did. As well as the Tweenies and Teletubbies. They were 2 I liked as well. So, yeah. Number 1 favourite game franchise and why? Mario Kart. Absolutely amazing franchise. I think the games are just fun, great, fun, exciting, sort of competitive and a bit addictive, so they are. Like, I used to play a lot with my sister years ago when we were both younger. We were quite competitive, so I love the games, just fun and stuff. And I love playing the older Mario Karts, going back and playing, just a great franchise, you know what I mean? Love it bits. After reading, this last one, after reading my rough draft for an animated Super Mario Bros. Movie, do you think Illumination Entertainment is suitable for the job, or would you have chosen another studio for the job? I think overall, I think they are a good choice. I think if you did make it into a film, it would be interesting to see what they do. It really, really would. So I'd go, yeah. I'd say yes for that one. Go for it if you actually made it happen. So thank you for that, Fire Dust. 2 more people. This person is called XXX Scottish Meg Shark YouTube. Where do these people make these names? You know what I mean? Is this Call of Duty again? I don't know. That's a bit of a long name. It's like, I remember an old Otibix advert where they had a bit of a pun where they called it not made from wheat, made from oats instead, a Bix. So it was. So a bit of a crazy thing that. So thank you. I'm just going to call you Scottish Meg, if that's easier, if you don't mind. So yeah. So this person has asked me four questions. Yeah, 4 questions, sorry. What hobbies do you do apart from YouTube? Since we know you do YouTube, LOL. Obviously, I'm into Doctor Who, science fiction stuff. I'm a bit of a collector with that sort of stuff. I like it. I'm also a fan of I think going out to places and stuff with friends and family and stuff. And they're not really hobbies, they're more of interests. But I think with hobbies, obviously I do the YouTube, make the YouTube videos, which I quite enjoy. Obviously I'm into science fiction, Doctor Who and stuff. I'm a bit of a collector for that. Video games I quite enjoy. And I think even yeah, that's what I think that's I'd pretty much say that. I really would. Hobbies. So yeah, I've really got a lot of hobbies. So sorry about that. If you were a billionaire. Oh, sorry, no, sorry. Sorry, I missed a question off there. Sorry. Do you ever plan on making a short film for your YouTube channel? You do comedy skits. I'd love to make the idea. I really, really would. I think that'd be an interesting thing to do. It really, really would. I think I'd want to do some sort of crazy thing with Alex. I really, really would. That'd be an interesting thing to do. But I've always had sort of idea that has Alex in it. I think one idea I'd love to make is basically where basically what ends up happening is failed technology goes out and basically destroys people, which is a bit of a weird idea, failed technology to killing people. And basically what it is that there's this group of people and they go to this museum. And what ends up happening is it's a museum full of failed technology that these people absolutely hated. And what ends up happening is a lot of the old technology that they spent with, that they used, obviously those memories come back and they try and kill them. So they do some sort of strange idea. And obviously I'm with them and I end up double crossing them where I'm thinking, do you know what? I support failed technology. I don't care what you say. You know what I mean? Just some sort of crazy ideas. But a short film would be really, really good to make. It really, really would. Not sure of ideas, but yeah. If you were a billionaire, what would you do with all your money? I'd probably give some for family. Family, so I would. I'd let them enjoy and stuff. Maybe, let them go on a holiday. Maybe do a massive shopping spree or whatever. And I think also save some. You know what I mean? Don't go crazy like a lot of these people who have lots of money and stuff. So yeah, save, have fun, enjoy life. That's all I'd say. His next question is, what city in this world that you haven't been to would you like to go to visit? I'd love to go to Italy, not just because I'm part Italian, but I think overall I'd love to definitely go and see what it's like and stuff, and just experience it. That'd be a nice thing and stuff. Because I've been to different places. Obviously, I've been to London. I know that's in the UK. Several cities in this country. I've been to France. I've been to Spain. All sorts. That'd be interesting to see. So it would. And his last it's 2 questions. Least favorite YouTuber. There are a few that I don't like. I used to enjoy them, but then after a while, I don't like them. There's a lot of YouTubers I don't like, and the reason being, I think it's because the fact some of them lose their way in a lot of stuff. A lot of them make great content at first, but a lot of them lose their way, so they do. So which is a bit of a shame. It really, really is. Obviously, I used to enjoy watching Boogie2988. The reason why I stopped watching it was because his content became less and less interesting. I thought, why am I subscribed to this person? And even others that I don't enjoy watching, so I don't like them. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of them sort of change. So they do sort of like when they first start, where they've got a small amount of YouTubers, it's all about, oh, I love making content, blah, 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 blah. And then I think when they get to like maybe 1 million subscribers or whatever, their mind sort of changes. I think, well, do you know what? This person is making content really easy. Why don't I just read this thing, talk about it for like 2 seconds, and, you know, that's what I do for like 30 minutes. It doesn't work. It really, really doesn't. Because a lot of YouTubers out there, especially in the gaming community, as they call themselves, bloody nerds, that's all they do for content. A lot of them lose their weight and they are not interesting anymore. So yeah, that's just how it goes. Not worth watching. And the last question from him is favourite rapper. The only rapper I've ever listened to is Eminem. His old stuff I've quite enjoyed listening to, so I have. I'm not really into rap music. I don't like rap music and stuff because I think nowadays it's just someone talking and a bunch of weird sound effects. That's all it is. It's noise at the end of the day. So yeah. Sorry if that offends you, but it's just how I go. And the last question is from the great, use that in quotations, Alex Francis. Saying, bloody hell, 30 minutes. Bloody hell, that's a long video. I hope you like the long videos. And he's told me, I still don't like you. Thank you, Alex. I still don't like you either, so, always crazy, Alex. 37 minutes, bloody hell. I think this is the longest video I've ever made, so I hope you enjoyed the video, you know what I mean, and stuff. But, yeah, it's been a different video and stuff. I think this is my longest video I've ever made. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, hope you liked it and stuff. And I hope you like my answers and stuff. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you all on Friday for my Alex Francis video. And the regular video on Saturday. Just want to say thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye.